What up, YouTube? Cam that guy here, back once again with another YouTube video, man. So I'm back, you know what I'm saying? Back with a Bible video, man. It's been a long time since I did, you know what I mean, a Bible video. It's been a minute, man. It's been a very, very, very long time. You know what I'm saying? But I am back, you know what I'm saying? And I am back for good. I'm back once and for all. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Here we go, man. I'm ready, man. So, we're gonna begin Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 5. We're gonna go verse 6 to 21. The Ten Commandments. Ten Commandments were placed by the Lord, right? These are commandments that each of his believers should go by. You know what I'm saying? These were placed in this world. Like, if you follow these commandments, you are good. If you break one of these commandments, you are bad. You know what I'm saying? Think of the Ten Commandments as pretty much rules, right? A commandment means rule. These are rules that the Lord wants. You know what I mean? These are rules that his believers should go by. So we about to get into it. Based off of current events that is happening right now. And just because I think this is a good startup video to come back with, I'm going to talk about the Ten Commandments. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to talk about. And maybe I could help somebody that's watching become Christian. You know what I'm saying? So let's go and get into it. Now, I do want to say this. I do not force religion on nobody. You do not have to be religious. You see what I'm saying? You can be an atheist. You can be Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, whatever you want to be. You see what I'm saying? I don't force religion on no one. I just want to say that real quick. You're not supposed to do that. I am a Christian. I read the Bible. I've been reading the Bible a little bit more than compared in the past, because back then I let my mind was just somewhere else. All I was thinking about was girls, all that other shit. I didn't have my head straight, right? Now since I got my head straight and I'm not worried about no girls, I'm not worried about, I was worried about getting a job. I kept worrying about getting a job and shit like that. I kept, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I mean, just thinking about all type of bad shit, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking to myself, like, what is to happen to me? Like, what is to be expected to me? Like, all this other shit, I just kept worrying, right? So, yeah, man. But now since I got my head back straight, you know, everything good. But anyway, we're going to begin with verse 6, and we're going to end on chapter 21. So here we go, man. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out from the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Here we go, verse 7. Let's get started. Thou shalt not have none other gods before me. So what that means is, thou shalt not have no other gods. And they put it in lowercase, right? Lowercase g. If you see the word God in a lowercase g, that means it is a false god, it is an idol. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means, right? That means the God is human. You know what I'm saying? If a God has a lowercase g, it is human, right? Or it's like a item, like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like a stone or some shit, right? But it's not real, right? So thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Verse 8. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. So what that's saying is, thou shalt not make an image of anything that is like too holy or like too godly. You know what I'm saying? And then it's saying nothing in the waters. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's pretty much. I guess that's pretty much what that. I laughed because I was looking at this verse after verse 8. I was looking at verse 9 and it made me giggle because I was talking about this yesterday. Right, that's the reason why I started laughing. But anyway, so what it's saying is nothing like don't make an image of yourself from nothing like on the earth, on planet Earth. Don't try to make yourself look like something too like godly or too earthly or something too sea like, if that makes sense, right? All right, verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. All right, so it's saying, thou shalt not bow down unto them nor serve them. So what that's saying is, thou shalt not bow down to nobody, no human being, no person, no place or thing, none of that shit, right? For I am the Lord God, a jealous God, right? So God is a jealous God, right? Now, is he still jealous like how he used to be? No. You know what I'm saying? Because back then in the Old Testament, God would do a lot of shit. Like he would kill people and shit. He had the flood, right? There was a big fire that took down the city. You know what I'm saying? It just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just all type of shit, right? So back then in the Old Testament, you know what I'm saying, God was a lot more, you know what I'm saying, just ruthless, right? But as you remember John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So he loved the world so much that he gave Jesus here so that, you know what I'm saying, people and shit, you know, they could pray or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, be holy and make it to heaven and shit, right? Now, you know, so ever since the New Testament, God hasn't been, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, like he was in the Old Testament, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what that is. And yeah. Verse 10. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much what that says is God will show mercy to those that keep his commandments. So if you follow these commandments that I'm reading, and they got other commandments in Exodus as well, but I decided to read Deuteronomy. But yeah, if you follow the commandments and stuff, you got really, actually, you should got 100% chance. You should make it to heaven. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't make it there. You know what I mean? So yeah, verse 11. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltiness that taketh his name in vain. So what that means is, don't say the Lord name in vain. You know, you always hear people say that, right? So that's pretty much what that means is you say, oh my God, or oh, I put it on God or something like that. You know what I mean? Shit like that. That's putting the Lord name in vain, right? So don't put his name in vain. Like don't, you know what I'm saying, do that to the Lord, right? That's pretty much what that means. Verse 12. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. So it says keep the Sabbath day. I don't know what it's sanctified. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what that means. Yeah. But but the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? The Sabbath day is the seventh day. You know what I'm saying? And the Sabbath day is Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Sunday is the last day of the week. And it says on this day, nobody should work. That's what it says in the Bible. But I think, you know what I'm saying, we're going to get into that as we get reading, as we keep reading, right? Um, so 6 days thou shalt not labor and do all thy work. Verse 14, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, though nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor of any cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest well as thou. So it's saying on the seventh day is the Sabbath. So it's just saying that nobody should work on Sunday, right? It's saying that nobody should work on Sunday. A lot of people do still work on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's you know what I mean? I feel like, let me say this real quick. Um I feel like this commandment right here is probably the only commandment that should not be taken serious. Out of all the commandments, this is the only commandment that should probably be like, you know what I mean, laid back on. And also, I want to go ahead and say this, you know what I'm saying? Though, you know what I'm saying, this, you know, the Bible, it got stuff in it and stuff like that, that, you know, is provided for people for generations to come. I do feel like I said this in a video before that the Bible should not be taken 100% literal. You know what I'm saying? I'll say about like 80 to 85. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Maybe 90. You know what I mean? I just want to say that. You know what I mean? Don't take it 100% literal to the T. You know what I mean? But yeah, basically what it's saying is nobody should work on Sunday. That's pretty much don't do anything, you know, of labor on Sunday. That's what it said, right? So anyway, verse 15. And remember, thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore, the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. All right. Verse 16. Honor thy father and mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may prolong, and that it may go well with thee in the land the Lord thy giveth thee. So, there's a lot of bad fathers and mothers out there, you know what I'm saying? But if you got a good mom and dad in your life, you got to make sure you listen to them. I would say most definitely do that. But there's a lot of parents that are unequipped to be parents. So if you got bad parents, definitely don't, you know what I'm saying, honor them. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by saying the Bible shouldn't be taken 100% to the T. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to kind of think outside the box. You know what I mean? You got to kind of think for yourself and know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? But anyway, verse 17, thou shalt not kill. I do agree with this. You know what I'm saying? Thou shalt not kill. Killing could be any type of way. It could be just shooting somebody. You know what I mean? Um, Giving somebody an overdose on medicine, trying to rape somebody to death. You know what I'm saying? Give somebody an STD or some shit. It could be a lot of things, right? So thou shalt not kill, right? Neither thou shalt not commit adultery. Okay. So what this means is adultery is when somebody is married and they look for to have another outside party within their sex, right? I 100% agree. Thou shalt not commit adultery, which means don't cheat on your wife, right? Verse 19, neither thou shalt not steal. Do agree with this, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be stealing. But you know, desperate times cover drastic measures. So if you're in a predicament, you know what I'm saying, like I was, you know what I mean, it's kind of like you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? But I was stealing like really bad. I was stealing like, you know what I mean, but I didn't have no money and stuff. Now I got a little bit of money, but I would steal, but I'm probably at risk of getting caught and stuff. But in general, you shouldn't be stealing. Don't steal from no store. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you got the money and stuff, don't steal. Even if you don't have the money, you just gonna have to wait till you eventually get it. I do not recommend nobody steal. Stealing is a sin that I completely agree with. So don't do it. Anyway, verse 20. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. Yep, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? What it say? Love your neighbor as you love yourself, or whatever. They got another verse or whatever. So make sure you treat, you know what I'm saying, people, strangers or whatever, with respect or whatever, right? Verse 21, neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor. Okay, so it's saying neither thou shalt desire somebody else's wife. So what that means is if you see that your friend has a cute wife, you should not desire. So that means don't try to take someone's girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what that means, right? That is a sin. You know what I'm saying? Verse 22. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount of the mist, of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tables of stone, and delivered them unto me. I don't really need to break that down. Let me see what I got after this. Uh Yeah, that's about it. You know what I'm saying? That's about it of all the commandments. They got some good. They got some commandments in Exodus, um, and stuff like that. Yeah, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the end of the commandments. Wanted to do this video. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good video to come back with. It's 17 minutes. Um, so I think, you know what I'm saying, we can just keep it as that. You know what I mean? Like I said, they got commandments in another chapter. But we just gonna go with these, right? So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, you know what I'm saying? If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next Bible video, you know what I'm saying? Yo. Alright, you know what I'm saying? One more thing I want to add to this video is praying, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I did forget to close out this video with a prayer. You know what I'm saying? So, what I'm about to do, you know what I'm saying, is I'm gonna pray, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about praying out loud, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, I don't want to do that, you know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and pray to myself and then close out the video, you know what I mean? Forgot to do that, you know what I mean? So let me go and do this real quick. Okay, let me go and try to do this, bro. Okay, all right, man. I prayed, you know what I'm saying? And that was about it, you know what I mean? So it was a little long, but I wanted to do that, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you pray a lot. But yeah, wanted to add this, you know.